Hello. Good evening to everybody. Welcome to the MIZZES Reviews channel. Myself and our co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. We're here to go over the Housewives of New Jersey, the latest episode, Trouble in Tulum. This episode was stupid, but it was entertaining. It was entertaining. I will say that. Let's just dive into the episode because not much happens, honestly, in the beginning of it. It's mostly toward the end of the episode where things were interesting. But Teresa's planning a Tulum party, which is going to be at her house. I think the whole concept is dumb. It's not a birthday. No one is moving. She just decided because she turned 50 and went to Tulum that now she wants to put it in her backyard and all that pollution in New Jersey. No. But she's focused on healing. So she says, and Jen says, and James recapped Love and Hip Hop with us, and they were talking about a healing journey on that show. And I've noticed just watching television in real life, just living, whenever people say and speak about their healing journey so constantly versus just healing and letting us see the growth, they're usually full of poop. they're full of, yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. And Teresa ain't healed nothing. She went to prison. She was awful before. She got out, learned some yoga, did that for a few months, and then got right back to being awful. So there's nothing healed. If anything, she came out meaner. Just saying. She met a bunch of people like her. But, you know, Dolores then moves on to talk about her relationship with Paul, which I don't care about. She claims that the commitment that he's making instead of marrying her, because he is still married, is by opening a business together in a field of business that he already works in. Dolores, I'm sick of it. She claims she don't care about marriage. We know that she cares about marriage.
I thought I was watching the Twilight Zone with this. I said, Dolores, you just pressured this man at dinner when he said, well, if I divorce my wife, I'm supposed to propose to you the next day. Hey, when you said absolutely, it was like, okay, that's caring about marriage. Now, because this man has put his foot down and it's giving you don't want to be alone at all with yourself. So now you're going to settle for this business that he already has. He just needs you to invest and then also promote it on said Real Housewives of New Jersey outlets. Because according to the other men that he's in close conversation with, it is very beneficial for them to all to put their businesses on this platform. You're no exception, so that's what you're doing. We see what he's doing, Dolores. Hi, Jim Bunny. We see what this man is doing. I don't know why you don't see it.
Here's my thing. Dolores acting like a dang dingbat when it comes to dating. If you was gonna do all of this, girl, you may as well just got back with Frank. I'm just saying, because she's not making any sense.
No, she can't get back with Frank because Frank in the bathroom right now, and I need somebody to give him some toilet paper, so he can't. No, she can't get back with Frank on there. I already claimed it. So no, yes, but I'm just playing. Allegedly, he ain't in there, y'all. Just play it. I just want to be funny.
She said that's what is giving Polly, aka the Michelin tire fan.
She could have stayed with. She might as well have stayed with him if she was gonna go through all this again. This is the same storyline.
That's why Dolores needs to get away from Teresa. I know there's loyalty there, but just distance yourself a little bit because your man even starting to look like her man, and that is not good. Moving it on along, Teresa then is speaking, and she's blaming Louis for sending the card and the bottle to her brother. So at first, in the previous episode, she's so genuine and she cares and she's extended, making the effort. Now we find out, now that she knows that her brother didn't give a damn about the card or any of the bull crap because he's used to her same games that she plays and he's dealt with it way longer than we've had to, poor thing. She's like, well, it was Louis's idea. Louis wrote the card. I didn't want to send it. Teresa's just going to contradict herself this entire episode. So this is nothing new for her. This is absolutely nothing new for her. But she proved Melissa's point when Melissa said that the gesture was disingenuous and that she's only doing it to be on TV because of how it makes her look. She's trying to look good, like we can't see that she's full of crap. But this is what it is. And all the people that support Teresa, I worry about their judgment, but we'll get into that later. So it's crazy to me because Teresa basically does the exact same thing that she did to Jackie, plays victim, saying that John Fuda spoke about her daughter because John Fuda made the point of, yes, I sold drugs when I was like younger than Gia. So what I mean by that is in the previous season, Jackie, this is why people are disgusted with Jackie for being cool with Teresa. They got into it and Jackie used Teresa's daughter as an example of why you shouldn't just spread rumors. And then Teresa said, "You're talking about my daughter." No, people are using her as an example because your kids seem to be the only thing on the planet outside of yourself that you care about. So this is what they're doing. But of course, she takes it and says, "Oh, he's bringing up my daughter. What for?" But Dolores is the one responsible for telling her that information. So I'm looking at Dolores again. Like, I know people like her and they call her the voice of reason. I don't think Dolores is the voice of reason. I just think that Dolores is one of the few people on this cast that will go off and be upset without acting a damn fool, if that makes sense. That does not make her the voice of reason. If she was the voice of reason, she wouldn't be able to be friends with Teresa. I said what I said. She just wouldn't, because half of what Teresa says and does is just unreasonable or does not make any sense. So it's I'm just overall just really annoyed with the whole situation. Dolores says that Jen is full of what, and that Jen just does not like Danielle because Jennifer's trying to, like, for some reason, comfort Danielle. Jennifer's trying to produce and she's bad at it. She's terrible at it. But I'm just annoyed with the whole thing. Teresa just talks about wanting to take Marge down. It's weird to be speaking like that on camera. I want to take this person down. So what did you think of that whole stupid little meeting of Dolores and Teresa and Jennifer Aiden discussing the shit that they start and how it's everyone else's fault?
I agree. It is weird for Jen Aiden to constantly try to find an issue with it's Danielle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting there's too many people with the same names on this damn show. But no, it is weird that she's constantly trying to find an issue with this lady after y'all just kind of made peace at Melissa's house, saying y'all were not going to bring it up anymore. It's dead. It's gone. It's weird that she continuously holds on to this. I don't know. It's given storyline. It's given that if you don't, your job will be in jeopardy because no one wants you on the show. As far as Teresa, it's already been proven that you don't have anything on March. So what are you trying to do? Why are you trying to take her down? For what? It's not that it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. And Dolores, you lost me at this whole Paul thing. So I don't even care what you have to say going forward. The only thing you did is that I liked was at the end of this episode. That's it. But you losing me right now. So anything you say right now is deplorable.
Yeah. Dolores is, I'm turned off to Dolores, but allegedly Rachel, Teresa, and Dolores are allegedly the only housewives that are safe to come back next season. They're allegedly getting rid of all of their enemies. So someone had commented something online where they were like, y'all got rid of Monique so fast for what she did, and people were quick to tear down like other housewives, not just African American housewives, but Jennifer Aiden and Teresa. Really, on New Jersey, they get away with murder, from flipping tables to pushing the host of the show to starting physical altercations and rumors that realistically, if they didn't have to sign the arbitration clauses in the contracts, they'd probably be suing the hell out of each other. So I don't know. I just feel like Jen Aiden and all of them, that conversation just, it was almost delusional. It was wild. It was wild.
It was not only was it wild, but it was also like at the end of the day, ma'am, what is the problem? Like, why are you so bored with your life where you have to dig up something and try to find every which way that is vile to make this lady look like she's a monster and really she's not?
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's weird that you and Teresa have that bad. That's why y'all so close. Y'all are literally are grasping at straws, pulling out rock teeth to make these two look like villains when at the end of the day, it's reflecting on y'all that y'all want the feelings because these ladies ain't did nothing to y'all. So
Yeah, they're pretty much like living in their own world. It's annoying, and it's like when we see you guys in lies and starting crap, just it's not as entertaining. But on another boring note, Melissa Gorga, she still got this envy store. I'm just glad she's not trying to sing anymore, honestly. I don't care about the old and new envy. I didn't really see the damn difference. It sounds like the only difference was her sales and profits, which congratulations to her. I've never been interested in envy on this show. Uh, and I'm gonna leave it there. I don't even feel like Melissa Gorga is the best dresser, but I'm not gonna get into that. But they discussed the battle that Teresa or the bottle that Teresa sent to Melissa. Basically they feel the gesture was fake, which it was. I'm not going to go over that again because Teresa pretty much confirmed it was a fake gesture. But Danielle is pissed off about Jennifer making it seem as though she stole from charity. And I don't blame her for that because when I was watching it, I was like, that's a big deal. Usually, people on television shows will put their differences aside no matter how deep for charity. I think the best example of that is the Housewives of Beverly Hills. We've seen housewives miss a charity event from their enemy, but still send a check over. We've seen housewives actively be into it with people. They may get into it, but still donate. But they still, for the most part, try to do things for charity. So I didn't like that Jennifer Aiden made it about, oh, I needed my name up there advertised and money and all of those things. So I'm glad that Danielle caught that. But Jackie comes up again, and then I'm gonna let James comment. And I'm cracking up because Jackie's getting roasted left and right. Nobody respects her. We barely liked her in the first place, and now that she's acting this way this season, we're like, oh nah, chick. So they discuss Jackie, and pretty much everyone thinks she's losing her mind. Quite literally. I think that Jackie is either drinking or deep back into her eating disorder. Because how do you write in your book that Teresa triggered you a relapse in your eating disorder? Her, not the show, not the cameras, not the audience, Teresa Judice. But now you up her ass and around the corner, deep in her cervix and anal glands and all of that. What's up with that? It's so strange. How do you feel about Jackie? Because it seemed like she got no friends on this cast except for Teresa, and that's conditional.
I was used to the words about her friendship with Teresa is conditional. Teresa said it out her own mouth that which we'll get to in a second. Um, I feel like Jackie is just really delusional, and I feel like she's just going to whomever is going to get her more camera time, whether that's Teresa, whether that's Marge, or whether that's Dolores, whether she's going to try to get camera time any which way she will, even if that means going against her soul and making up with Teresa, because there's no way. Not if you
Yeah.
cause that much mental like damage to my psyche. There's no way I would ever see it for you again. Now, as far as what you said about the Jen Aiden and Danielle thing about her saying that she paid herself from the charity, I'm going to reserve my opinion at the end when they have that conversation again because it comes up again there, and I'd rather say it there. I don't want to say it here.
I know that's why I asked you about Jackie
Oh,
specifically.
okay, good. Because I was gonna say,
You can't.
but
I
don't
don't
let
like
me
how
forget.
Jersey does that. No, you won't.
Yeah,
You won't be
don't
able
let me
to.
forget because I have to say something actually.
Yeah, they're a mess. They're a mess. Jackie's losing her mind. I think that all that she's doing, I think you're absolutely right. She wants to get back on the show. But honestly, Jackie was boring. I don't care that her parents live in two different houses. I don't care that she has multiple sets of twins. I don't care about her husband. I don't care that she does not give head. She wasn't that interesting to me. And that has nothing to do with her behavior this season. Moving on along, y'all. Marge goes to visit Rachel and they're discussing their issues. Listen, I'm not going over the same thing. And that was most of this episode. These people going and talking about the same things that we've already seen them talk about for what are we on? The 8 episodes. I'm sick of it. But Marge basically says she sent the text to Dolores exposing Jackie to defend herself. Now, I'm gonna ask the same questions to James that they asked on Watch What Happens Live. Like, do you feel like she was within her right to send that text to Dolores while Jackie was lying in her face and on her?
Yes and no. Yes and no. And it kind of goes back to that situation when they were at that luncheon and Melissa was trying to also bring up what she said in her book. To me, I feel like in terms she did that to be spiteful. So that's where I'm gonna say she was wrong because at the end of the day, that lady was going to fall on her own sword. It was just going to be a matter of time. She doesn't need you to push that sword forward so that way you make sure it slices her in half. She's going to do it on her own. So I think that she should just let it play out because Dolores ain't stupid. She go now I have to take that back. Dolores is stupid, but she's not. She has discernment when it comes to women. I'm gonna say it like that. She has discernment and she has blind loyalty. So when her discernment kicked in, she was going to find out about Jackie one way or another. She didn't need help, like she really did. But then yes, because I felt like if I have to throw your ass under the bus to save myself, and I know I didn't do shit, guess what? You going up under there because I didn't do anything to you for you to do this. So yes, I'm going to be spiteful and do it. So I would have did it out of spite, but that would be the only reason. There would be no other reason. Like I wouldn't have done if I was March, I wouldn't have done it. But if I was trying to be spiteful, then yes, I would have. But it depends on how I felt. I'm just gonna put it like that.
Here's my thing. The way Jackie turned on her, did her dirty after she helped her get a book, you gonna stand in front of me and have a conversation with somebody with the intention to make them not like me anymore because you are upset and can't address your wrongs in our conversation. No, I would have done the same thing. I would have sent the text.
But here's the thing.
Because if you're done with the person, which we know to
But
this
that
day
would have
is
been my test for Dolores too, to see if she really would fall for that. That would have been my test for Dolores. Because if we good friends like you say we are, and this person knowing how thirsty, you know how thirsty she is. Dolores know this shit. She don't even like Jackie like that. So
never
I
have.
would take that as like, okay, I'm gonna see if Dolores really is my friend to see if she was gonna buy it. Because I know can't nobody come up to you and tell you something I said about you and you believe it right then and there. I know you're gonna be like, first of all, you're going to assess it. Does it sound like something James would say? Hell no, that don't sound like something James would say. So I know you full of shit.
The thing
Just
is, Jackie is different with this situation because Jackie and Dolores never really got off to a good start from the moment.
I'm talking about Marge. I'm talking about that her throwing Marge under the bus in front of Dolores. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying Dolores and Marge's friendship. See, that's the thing. That's why I say yes and no, because I feel like if Dolores and Marge are good friends, I don't know if they are. I don't really watch the show like that.
They are.
If they're good friends, my friend is already going. I don't have to send you a text to say what this girl has said. You already gonna know because I'm already gonna call you and tell you this girl said this about you. I ain't even gonna hold that in my phone like that because if I don't have no loyalty to this lady, I mean I do, but if I trust you more, like let's say me, you, and our other friend said something like completely crazy about you, called you a slob and everything like that, and you don't went to bat for this girl and everything, and she tells me all of this stuff. You don't think I'm gonna come and tell you what she said? First of all, I'm gonna correct her, and then I'm gonna call you and tell you what I did. That's how we are, bro. I guess Bay Area people are different. We gonna correct the people we need to correct, and then we gonna call you and tell you what we did. Because that's how we do it, y'all. We don't do what March do. Like we would do it out of spite, but realistically, if somebody came and told me something about Mrs. Best, you don't think I'm gonna correct that person? First off,
The thing of it is, March has not done anything to Jackie, still, like at all. So the person who first initiated betrayal was Jackie. And when Marge tried to express her feelings, Jackie tried to, I'm done. I'm walking away from you. And then she walks away from her because Marge was right in her point to then go to further try and take down Marge, which she's probably doing because of Teresa, to one of her friends. So Marge has done nothing to Jackie.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. That's what I say. I don't think I would.
And she said that she's done with her. If she's done with her as a friend, the text is okay. But if she ends up going back and like, well, we could talk about this, for me, then it's shady because I don't feel like a friendship can ever be the same once you share private text. But also, I don't think that Marge sharing private texts is worse than what was actually said, because Jackie was in that lady's face to be fake. All because she wants to kiss Teresa's ass, because that's her only way back onto this show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why
Well, I agree. And that's why I say I don't believe in leaking private conversations. I just don't. That's just not me. Like, whatever you said was between you and I. Like, I'm not finna expose you. I don't care what you do to me.
But if you're gonna try and publicly humiliate somebody, then I'm with Marge on that. You're gonna try and publicly humiliate me, I'm gonna publicly expose you.
And I think for me, I'm coming from the standpoint, who is going to believe this old drunk, unstable, old halfway decent ass person anyway? Who is going to believe her? Like at the end of the day, I think that's how I'm looking at it. I don't believe anything that lady say. She could tell me Marge Street on New York Times or on Manhattan, all titties all in the air. And I would have said, Jackie, now come on now. You know that lady did not do that. Come on and stop playing. Like, that's just me. I'm not gonna believe somebody who's unstable like that. I'm just not. I'm not gonna take anything she says for real. Because y'all can look at her and tell something wrong with her. So I'm not gonna listen to her. And especially if that's my friend, like I said, no one could tell me anything about you. I'm not gonna believe it. Because I know you. So that's why I'm saying I wouldn't have believed her. So she could try to take me down, that's fine. But if I know y'all the way y'all know y'all not gonna believe that anyway. Especially if it's some crazy, outrageous like lie. Like y'all know that
Jersey though also is not the same Jersey. I actually do not think anybody on this cast are truly friends, with the exception of Teresa and Dolores. I think the rest of them may act close, kind of like when you at a job, you got a coworker you close to who become cool, but then once they quit or you quit, suddenly you're not so close. I feel like these women are close by proxy. They ain't got no choice. But Teresa and Dolores, they've had a friendship over 20 something years. So I do think that they're genuinely friends in real life. But the rest of them, you could just tell how they operate, because what you said is accurate. Like if somebody's really your friend, can't nobody say nothing about them that's going to change your mind. And that's kind of Dolores with Teresa, because it's genuine. But the rest of them don't have that. They just want to be on TV. And that's why I think Bravo needs to stop trying to make new housewife franchises and maybe just coast some, take your time and come up with some other types of shows, different concepts. That's why shows like Below Deck, Vanderpump Rules, Family Karma, that's why those did well.
because they don't know each other like that.
Yep.
So there's nothing to lose here.
The housewives, I'm over it. They all want to be rich and they all want to move it, pretty much. And Jackie is proof of that. She is thirsty and we don't have enough water, child. We're in a drought. But moving on, y'all. I'm not commenting on the scene with Dolores and her gem working out with her, whatever he is. I wish Dolores the best, but yeah, I don't care. My comment on that scene with Dolores and Paul in the gym is same shit, different season. Moving on. We love you, Black Dolores, though we do. Half of this episode was the women discussing issues that we've already watched episode after episode. The only thing worth commenting on in the middle of these episodes is that Jen Aiden was BSing when she said that she does not agree with Danielle's behavior when hers has been the exact same or worse that she is alleging that Danielle has done. That's a little wild, but we know Jen Aiden is delusional and filled with plastic and injections. Teresa says, Lord help us. Teresa says that Dolores and Jackie need to see that Marge is evil. Margaret is evil, Teresa says. Takes one to know one, Teresa, but okay.
I was going to say, that's the pot calling the kettle black here.
In the truest of forms.
I'm just saying, okay. Well, damn.
God, Lord help her.
Okay. Ooh-wee.
That's why one of her daughters going to college. They say, we want to be independent. They're doing everything opposite of their parents, and good for them.
Teresa gonna make me. Teresa gonna get me to the point where I'm gonna stop trusting people whose eyebrows is close to their hairline.
I'm done with you, James.
I'm gonna stop trusting people like that. I really am.
Anywho, I'm good. You on time. So, anywho, Teresa basically is making these comments about them being evil. We both feel like she evil herself. I think she know it too, but it is what it is. But it's interesting because she wants them to see the evil in Marge, but only with Jackie does she have the requirement for Jackie to not be friends with Marge or Melissa. Did anybody peep that? she's with Jack. She's talking to Dolores, and she's talking about Dolores and Jackie, right? Dolores is her friend, and Jackie's supposedly her new friend. She wants them both to view Marge as evil, but she specifically said for Jackie, she needs to not be friends with Marge or Melissa in order to be friends with Teresa. Why is that the case for Jackie, but not the case for Dolores? Teresa, you show your hand as you always do. This,
First
to
of all,
those who are Teresa lovers, this is exactly why people do not like her. This is calculated. This girl is running around like a puppy dog, ending 6-year friendships for a woman that exposed her husband cheating on her allegedly. And Teresa's like, I will drop her if she's friends with Melissa or Marge.
let me explain something to you because I know exactly what. First of all, I don't think it happened at this point in their friendship, Dolores and Teresa. But I feel like when they was in their 20s, Dolores beat the shit out of Teresa one time over some bullshit,
Probably.
and
Yeah.
Teresa knew not to cross her again. That's why um she didn't have that same standard for her as she did for Jackie. And this is allegedly, I don't know these ladies. I'm just saying that's the only time I could think of, like, or why you would not hold one to a standard that you would hold another person to the standard when they're both doing the same exact thing, which is being friends with a lady you don't like. So to me, I just feel like, and this is my opinion, this is alleged, this is not true. I'm just saying it for entertainment purposes. I feel like Dolores whooped Teresa's ass when they was in their 20s over some real shit. And she said, don't you cross me no more.
Allegedly, they've talked about that on the show too. Teresa and Dolores say from Patterson, it is not the softest of areas. Okay. These are
Mm-hmm.
not women who grew up privileged. And word on the street, back in the day, Dolores had hands. So
Oh, I believe it. I could look at her and tell. I know she got hands. I could tell by her gestures and the way she, especially when she looked at Jackie in this episode, Dolores looked like she fucked some people up over Frank. I can almost see it.
right.
I can almost like it could be right there. I could see her giving a 5 combo. I'm talking fist, elbow, backhand, left, and just doing like that, like a dance routine. You know, you got your fist, elbow, so your fist, elbow, like that. Like I could just see it. I could just see it. Hell, by the time you look at it, she did hit your lips, your eye, and your nose in one punch. She looked like she could do that. She looked like she could do that. Absolutely.
Oh, child. I cannot. I agree. I'm glad you said it because that was gonna be my point too. But you know, I think we're gonna move on. James pretty much covered that. So let the church say amen. Um the Tulum party we get to, it was weird. It was weird. Teresa, we don't care for your kids. We don't dislike them, but they're not kids anymore. So we don't have to be respectful. Gia is not a housewife. I don't care to see her on the Housewives. I don't care. Let them kids go live their life and get away from this show. That's how I feel. If they choose to come on it, let them come on it, but let them kids go live their life. Why are your kids at the party? I don't care. And I didn't
It
understand
was
the point
Gia
of the
running.
party.
It was Gia running her mouth as if she was in the group and grown like these ladies are. Oh yeah,
Gia
Jackie
has
better not do
no
it.
respect.
Jackie better not do that. I was like, little girl, if you don't cover them acne marks and put on that makeup and stop playing with us, I don't care. No one wants to hear you. But
Gia,
I
even
will.
when she was a little girl, people used to be like, "Oh, it's sad." But I'm like, Gia has always been, in my opinion, and this is the fault of her parents, like a little too much involved in grown folk business. If y'all know what I'm trying to say, Gia has
Mhm.
always overstepped. She's disrespected her uncle. Listen, no matter how mad I get, I'm not about to disrespect my uncle, my daddy, my nana. Like, I'm just not. I don't want to get my ass whooped, and I'm 32. Okay. But Gia has no like fear. I feel like they spoiled the hell out of them girls because they
Mhm.
feel bad for either how they grew up and or the things that they went through pertaining to the jail thing. But I'm tired of seeing her kids on this show because it doesn't humanize Teresa. At this point, it's like keep them off camera before people associate them. Guilty association. Lord.
I agree, but what I will say, I'm living for Teresa's backyard, y'all. I'm not
It's
even gonna
beautiful.
lie.
Yeah.
I am living for that backyard.
Allegedly, Louis took out a fraudulent loan and used the house as collateral, so the yard may be up for auction soon, Fred, and it may be possible.
Well,
Allegedly.
well. Well, let me hurry up and win the lottery tonight so I can go and get my. I'll move to New Jersey for that backyard. I will. I'll live right. Hey, Frank. I'm just saying, but I was living for that backyard. I was living for. I was like, oh my god, they did such a like just the aesthetic and the details, the pool. I was living for that's something I would live in. That's like how I want to live right there. The inside of the house, not so much. I don't like the layout. But that backyard is just amazing. They did well. They did good. I don't like them, but they did good. It
The
was beautiful.
decoration ain't got nothing to do with hey, if you could decorate, you could decorate. Nothing wrong with it. Um,
I
but
don't think they can decorate. Yeah, that's the problem.
Dolores seems done with Jackie. Jackie comes in. Dolores does not greet her. Everybody know the first thing Jackie do when she come in, y'all. She got a drink in her hand. Why she drinking so much this season? She's always been fun. She's always been fun. She'll chug a beer, play beer pong. She's always been chill. But like this season, you up Teresa's ass, and it's looking like the only way you can tolerate the smell is to drink. And that's just how I feel because the girl always has something in her hand. And then it seems like she gets drunk real quick. And I am not being disrespectful at all because I've personally been hospitalized for an eating disorder. But when you are not eating, whether it be you are starving yourself or forcing yourself to throw up, and then you are drinking, it is essentially the same thing as drinking on an empty stomach. The shit gonna hit you different. It's gonna hit you quicker. It's gonna hit you harder. That is not a dig. But in a similar situation, I do empathize with Jackie's struggle, even though I don't like her being a little brown noser and ass kisser this season. But I think that's why she be looking so sloppy because we don't see her eat a lot, but she's constantly drinking, and then she's going and doing what looks to be Teresa's dirty work. But Dolores don't greet her. I don't blame her. That is me. That is James. If we don't like somebody, I don't see you in the room. Ain't no I'm making dirty faces. We gonna look each other up and down. I don't do that.
Mm-mm.
I just
I didn't
won't.
see.
You're not there.
I
The
told y'all
weather
how
was
I
great.
am. I already told y'all my story about how I was in the club and my friend's ex-girlfriend was in there and she got mad that I didn't speak. I didn't see her.
Right.
So that's what it is. I didn't see you. So and if you do it was me, why you didn't speak to me? I probably won't give you the chance to because I'm gonna do exactly what Dolores do. I'm like, oh, them flowers pretty. Let me go ahead and
Right.
look at it. Like I'm just saying, I know how to. If I don't, it's hard because I don't dislike that many people, y'all. I'm a
Yeah.
very open-hearted person. Like a lot of people don't cross me. Like a lot of people do not. I've had one person cross me in my life. That was a friend. I'm very lucky. None of my other friends, like we might lose touch, we might not speak for months, but they have never crossed me. I have one friend cross me, and that was it.
Where they at?
Child, where you at?
I could get to
Yes, yes, you could get to them. That's why I said yes. But that was the only time I've ever had a friend cross me. But no, and all the other times, like if I had to end a friendship, it was usually because we both did something to each other unknowingly. That's how it is. So when Dolores walked away, it was like, yeah, I would have walked away as well. And then I wouldn't have had no conversation. I know we're gonna get to it, but I wouldn't even have no conversation with her. I would have said, I don't see you, you don't see me, we don't see each other. I need me a sandwich. Teresa, give me a sandwich, please.
right. Right.
Like I'm hungry.
Where's
Like
the
trust me.
champagne?
Where's the champagne? Yes, exactly. I said, "Oh, this pool nice. Let me put my feet. Let me take off these
Right. Is
shoes. Put
that
my feet in this
marble?
pool. Like, right.
Right.
Let me see. Like, oh,
There's
Teresa,
smell.
these
I
flowers ain't
like
got no
this.
smell to them. They ain't real. Okay, these flowers ain't. When I tell you, I would get so distracted. Hell,
I
I
feel
even go in
like
the
to
kitchen.
respond though to people like that you don't like or to engage in those like little petty things. To me, it just shows that people have not truly grown into the true meaning of adulthood. Because once you get to real adulthood, it's not even about the I need to live alone and these bills and that. It's like, listen, I don't have time or enough hours in the day already as it is, let alone to add time to be bugging and going off. So I feel Dolores. But now Jackie claims she feel bad about what she said about Dolores. You didn't feel bad before. Before you couldn't remember and you didn't say it until the proof was in your face. So, and that makes it even worse for me if I was from Dolores's point of view because it's like, oh damn, bitch, so you don't even remember saying these negative things. It doesn't make
It
sense.
wasn't even no. It wasn't even the fact that she didn't remember. It was the fact that you didn't even think to apologize right then and there for even
The first
saying
thing I would have said, listen, I know we like you could have instantly went in for it, but instead of doing that, Jackie pulls a Teresa Giudice, and somehow this is Margaret's fault. Margaret shouldn't have shared a private text, but why did you say what you said in the private text?
I would have said, see, Jackie, this is Jackie. This is, I know you don't watch us because we went in on your ass. But Jackie, let me
The
explain
world
something to
is
you.
right now.
Right. Um, this is how you know you a boss. Yeah, Dolores, I said it because that's how I felt at the time when you don't include me and stuff. Even though it was small, even though it was petty, that is how I felt about you at the time I had sent that text message, which was on this day specifically. That's how I felt. I don't feel this way today. So because I felt like that then, I apologize for calling you the name, but I still felt how I felt because I felt you should have included me. Do what you will with it, but that's how I would have handled it if it were me. I don't do stuff like what Jackie does, calling people slobs and stuff like I don't do that because if I really felt like that, I'm gonna call you and tell you that's how I felt. You gonna know it before Marge knows it. But Jackie, me and Jackie, two kind of different kinds of people. But the least you could have did, Jackie, was apologize right then and there and say, you know what? I'm sorry for that happening. I'm sorry you had to read that because she wanted to be petty, and that's fine. She could be petty because me and her don't see for each other right now. But I'm just letting you know, I felt that way. Yep, I felt you were a slob, and I apologize for calling you the name slob because I don't feel like that today. That's all y'all got to do. Y'all make stuff hard. A lot of people make stuff harder than it actually has to be. Admit that you felt that way. Be like, yeah, I definitely
Here's the
felt that
thing,
way.
though. With this situation, none of it's genuine. This lady want to be back on the show and is kissing ass, and
But
so
that could have got
therefore,
her on the show even more. Because if you that bold to say that to someone who you know could whoop your ass, that's how you know we should keep you. But see,
she
that's what I said.
used to be bold, but that Jackie is gone. We've given up. Uh, we've given up. The people are tired of Jackie Goldschneider. Jennifer Fessler is surprised that everybody's speaking negatively about Margaret in front of her. Bitch, your loyalty is bouncier than a new
I mean,
basketball. I mean, what?
I, I'm
Of
like,
course
you
they feel
walking
comfortable.
toothpick, really, really,
Go
really.
inject some
You
more
know,
Ozempic and go call your doctor because he did a great job on your new face and send him a Christmas card or something. But
I'm like, what did you think was going to happen when you got to this party? With the host being Teresa Judice herself. What
Marge has
did
been
you
telling you
have?
that, but
Yes.
everyone's going to paint Marge as the enemy. And I think Rachel Fuda made a good point on Watch What Happens Live. Marge, y'all paint her as the enemy, but you can't say that the things she says are a lie. From the moment she stepped foot on this show, she may expose some shit that she shouldn't expose. She may get into business that don't got nothing to do with her, but she ain't told one lie.
She hasn't told one
And she
lie.
always
The
has.
only time I have not seen it from Marge, y'all, there's only one time I have not seen it from Marge. Is that shit with Danielle, the original Danielle from the show from first season. That's the only time I did not see it from Marge because Marge knows she was wrong as hell for pouring that water on. I don't care what she said about your tits. You were wrong for throwing that water on her like that. So when she snubbed you and grabbed that ponytail, I was here for it. That was the only time I didn't see it for you, Marge. But other times, I have to admit, you've been
Yeah,
my favorite so far.
yeah. I agree with that. I think that's the only time she was really wrong.
Hmm.
Because she also don't just expose stuff for no reason. She's not like, so listen, a little birdie told me while cool with people. When she is at the very least exposing stuff with receipts, is usually somebody that she's engaged in a beef with, which makes sense to some
Right.
extent, being someone on a TV show. Because outside of the show, it seems like she got good friends. So people feel how they feel about Marge, but she ain't told no lies. And when she does tell a lie, that's when I'll start to be like, okay, she can go.
Yeah, that's when I
Versus
started. That's
somebody
when I
like
started looking at her
Teresa,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
but
who's
until
always
then, yeah, the
lying.
only time I looked at her crazy was that thing with Danielle. That's the only time I looked because I felt like she shouldn't have involved herself in that business, and you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have got mad over them little bit of words that she called you, where you needed to pour some water on her. That's the only time I felt like she was wrong because I felt like I don't care what Danielle called me. Danielle couldn't have got that rise out of me, or if she got that rise out of me, then it would have been more than me pouring water on some hair. We would have tore that stove up. So I'm just saying it would have just been like that. But yeah, that's the only time.
And I
That
want
one
them to
time.
stop calling Marge a powerhouse in pigtails when she ain't had pigtails since her Ozempic and new hair and face. Like, I'm over that.
First of all,
Moving.
March can't even put pigtails in her hair. That hair is so brittle and thin. Like she can't
No,
even
she
do.
used to have two very thin, brittle pigtails with
Yeah, I
bows.
know. That's what I said. She can't do it no more. That hair, I'm telling you, she scrunched that hair up one time, it's gonna fall out.
Damn. You know what? Moving on, y'all. Jackie goes to Dolores. She finally goes up to Dolores, like the poodle that she is. She took her sweet time. And she goes up to Dolores to ask if they could talk. Dolores just kind of looked at her. She never confirmed or denied the talk. She just stood there. And Jackie claims that her stomach turned about the text message and she didn't know what to say. And that the real bad guy is Margaret. What kind of apology is that? I'm not even going to like dissect that. It was just like, your only concern with everything you said is, I'm sorry I got caught. That's why I didn't say sorry off the bat, but it's not my fault. It's Margaret's fault. Like she just took no accountability.
It was like granted, I would understood if you and Marge were in a great place and she leaked your private conversation, then yes, absolutely I would see it for you. But the fact of the matter is you snubbed her at the event. She had all your mess and your dirty laundry and she decided to expose it. So the best thing you could have done is what I said just earlier. It was just to apologize and say, yeah, I absolutely felt that way about you. And it
Yep.
is what it is. And if she still had that same reaction, then that's on her. At least you cleared the conscience that was on you versus you not taking accountability because you got caught in something you said. That's all we're saying, Jackie. Is
And
it?
that's why Jackie looks even faker because the Jackie we had before she was up Teresa's ass was the type to call it out and to be accountable. And now, after a season not being there, now she's suddenly in need of I think she just wants her main little peach or whatever the hell they carry. Looks like they don't hold nothing. I just think she wants her main spot back. But Dolores basically says she could give a flying you know what about Jackie's feelings. Why are you talking to me about how you feel when you did something to me and I've done nothing to you? So I felt Dolores with that. And Dolores makes another good point. Marge would not have had anything to send to Dolores. She would not have the receipt if Jackie did not run her mouth in the first place. I said, thank you, Dolores. Thank you.
Mhm. That's the only thing you getting from me this episode. Everything else was stupid and
Yep.
ridiculous. But this was actually the one time I see it for you.
Like you said, when it comes to the females, Dolores is a different person. When it comes to men, she's dumb as hell. She's a dingbat. But when it comes to, dealing with girlfriends, friend groups, things like that, she knows what to do. I will give her
Absolutely, she has great discernment. She really does. I know y'all gonna say, "Well, James, you contradicting yourself." What about Teresa? As I told y'all, I believe Dolores whooped Teresa's ass when they were in their 20s because of Teresa's mouth. I already feel
And
she did that.
everybody got an ignorant friend.
We
I
do.
got one. James
Hmm.
got one. Everybody got that
Absolutely.
one friend that just does not grow, like
Absolutely.
mentally. And Teresa has not grown mentally
And
in
it's and as I say, it's more beneficial to have Teresa by her side because Teresa done glowed up and got this
hmm
show, and Dolores wouldn't have been on the show had it not been for Teresa. So we
Yeah,
can say what we will, but at the end of the day, Dolores knows how to play chess. She
she
does. She
does.
might be stupid when it comes to this men situation, which we're gonna get on. Dolores, come on, watch your mouth review channel. I'll interview you because I need to talk to you because I need you to understand something with these men. You are too beautiful and you way too old to be making these kind of mistakes. I am just saying.
Yeah, they need to put her on MILF Manor on TLC.
No, please don't put it on that show. I can't stand that show.
I love it. It's my little
I
guilty
can no,
pleasure.
I cannot stand that show. Oh my god, that is the fakest reality TV show I have ever seen in my life.
It's
First of
TLC.
all,
Most of their shows, with the
first,
exception of
first of all,
90
those
Day
men don't
Fiance,
even
is
look
fake.
straight. How y'all gonna sit up here? Never mind. Let me just stop.
Anywho, so we move on, y'all. Teresa seems to only care that nobody is friends with Marge and Melissa, which we established is pretty childish, even though at the beginning of the season, I don't care who's friends with who. Whatever, Teresa. So next thing we know, when talking to Danielle, Jennifer Aiden comes up and Danielle asks Jennifer uh why she said that Danielle threw out Lena, the hairdresser, which we had discussed in a previous episode. And Jennifer claims that she did not say this. They move on to discuss the charity event that this Lena lady was connected to. And Jennifer, when confronted about alleging like Danielle, stole or kept funds from the charity, Jennifer says that she did not say that, but she did say that Danielle paid herself back, which does sound like something that Jennifer would manipulate. Jennifer always goes low, and I'm surprised nobody ain't snatched her up thus far on this show, especially yet. So even Teresa, who usually doesn't understand anything, understood where Danielle was coming from. And Jennifer kept saying that when she hosted the event, or when she hosts an event, she pays for everything out of her pocket. But this was charity. Oftentimes, when you're putting together charity or fundraisers, you might pay for the venue out of your pocket or something. But for the most part, donations, other, vendors, which, as Danielle explained, they paid her to be there, that they're going to pay so that they have a space there, and then the funds go to charity. They keep their percentage, and the rest of their, funds go to charity. That's usually how it works. But Teresa understood this. Everyone understood this. But Jennifer Aiden, who is truly a housewife, did not have a job before this show. I'm just saying, she's truly a housewife with an arranged marriage to a husband that can't stand her, bless his heart. I'm not going to trust everything that she says when it comes to business, charity, or events, because she does have the least amount of experience of this entire cast combined. Her husband has a business, and even outside of his education, her husband has a business. Teresa doesn't have an education. She's got a business. Like, there's a lot of people on this show who have businesses who aren't, the brightest bulbs in the bunch. But Jennifer Aiden she doesn't have anything but kids that are spoiled, in my opinion. And that's just how I feel. But basically, everyone's understanding where Danielle is coming from, but Jennifer is insistent on talking about, paying out of the pocket for charity, which is not generally what happens. If they're throwing an event, like, for instance, on Married to Medicine, they had that little made up award show or ball for the doctors or whatever. That's something you're going to pay for, because you're not technically raising money. So that makes sense. But this is actual charity. So people are going to pay because they get seen. Their business gets seen to do a good deed. They get to write that shit off too on taxes. Trust and believe big businesses are going to do that. And then usually they take a portion of the funds, pay some of what they're supposed to pay to put the event on, and then you give the rest to charity. That's how it goes. That's how it goes all the time. Do y'all really think that 100% of your dollar that you give is going to the charity? It's not.
Sorry. I hate to disagree with you.
I'm just saying, based on experience from the
hate to
doctors and
disagree with you.
lawyers and events and charities I've been a part of in California, from a business standard, putting them on for major Fortune 500 companies I've worked for. That's usually what we do. The vendors pay us, and then the money that they pay us to be a part of the event usually goes to the maintenance or putting together little things with the event. And then when the actual event comes and people donate, a portion of it for the vendors, they keep a percentage, and then they give a percentage. Then other people donate as well. Usually it goes to the charity. I did not feel like, based on what Danielle explained and what Jennifer Aiden was trying to say, I did not feel like Danielle did anything wrong.
No, she didn't. I'm not saying she did either. But hear me out though. Jennifer Aiden technically was not wrong with her statement, because at the end of the day, it is for charity. Danielle's event didn't have any sponsors, and usually that subsides. You taking that out of the charity money, so that way whatever you made from that event, 100% of it goes to the charity when you have a sponsorship, because the sponsors then write what they've donated out of getting you vendors or whatever you needed, to then write that off on their taxes. That's how it's supposed to work. But that wasn't the identification of what Danielle was doing. So she snubbed her with that, because in actuality, being in Arizona, because I understand how California does it. What you explained is absolutely correct. But in Arizona, the charity events that I have been a part of, that I've seen, is that the companies that sponsor will pay 100% for the vendors, the entertainment, the speakers, and whatever money has made will 100% go to charity from the proceeds of the tickets. Now, what ends up happening is they do write that off in tax. 100% of what they donated to get the entertainment space and everything like that, they'll write that off. So Jennifer Aiden technically was not wrong.
If she
However,
had sponsors, but
if
this was
she had
after the type
sponsors,
of event, so
yes,
it doesn't apply.
it wasn't. It doesn't apply. But I'm saying, in actuality, I understood what she was saying. I just think has she just under. I don't think that's why. That's what you made. You made your point about her not being the most astute because that's not what that was. But at the same time, she wasn't technically wrong. But I am going to say this. I felt like if she just would have tried not to take a dig at her, maybe it wouldn't have been executed in that way. Because she did this to take a dig at her. She did.
I just feel like whatever point she tried to make is not relevant to the type of charity. If this was a bigger thing with sponsors, yeah, because even here in California, I'm pretty sure everywhere it's that way with sponsors. But Danielle has been very clear, a little bit open. She was paranoid about her house because it was smaller than all the other ladies. You know,
Right.
her and her husband do very well, in my opinion. But when you compare it to what the rest of these heifers are doing, I feel like that's the problem. And that's the part I also did not like with Jen. Don't
She
try
did do
to
elitist,
compare things that you know have nothing to do with the type of event that this young lady put on to something that's entirely different, because that's going to confuse the audience, for one. And two, this is charity. This is charity. So by you making this big issue, we still don't know what the hell the damn charity was for.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
about all of the issues, and you're taking away from the actual important thing, which is charity. When Dolores did her event for charity, these women were beefing, but they acted right, and we got to see the cause and what Dolores was doing for the women in the community of Patterson and all of those things. Hell, even Teresa's been able to focus on her charities at times throughout the show, but it doesn't make any sense that Jennifer Aiden tried to take something good that was done and basically say, when we look at it from a standpoint, well, I didn't get paid. What did I get out of this? You don't get anything out of
and I didn't like that she did that either. Yeah.
Like, except for feeling good if you're normal. So it just kind of threw me off a little bit. But Danielle did explain that the highlighted businesses, because Jennifer Aiden's like, I didn't see Aiden plastic surgery up there. That is because the highlighted businesses that were up were those vendors that did pay to be there. So
and I think and that's where she lost me. That's where she lost me, was with that comment right there. Because if Aiden's plastic surgery didn't write a check to do anything for the venue or the establishment or the food or anything like that, why the hell would you think his name should be as one of the associates of this charity? Ma'am, that's not how that works. If he didn't write the check, his name don't get on the billboard. That's how that works. And that's what I would have told her. If he didn't write no check.
Jennifer, you want to talk about money? Baby girl, why did you not donate? Like, separate from Aiden Plastics, you came to a charity event and believed that yourself was enough. You know how many housewives will model or do something for charity? Hell, Basketball Wives Orlando, they did something for charity. And then in addition to with the work that they did, they still wrote checks. You could have still wrote a check.
Absolutely. Where was your $10,000 for the charity? That's what we said. And that's where she lost me. Now, at the beginning, I understood what she was saying, because that is kind of messed up if you did use that money to pay off the vendors and everything, if you didn't have no sponsors. That is big. But at the same time, Jennifer, this is where she lost me. Well, why didn't Aiden write a check? If you wanted to see his name up there, why he didn't write the check? So that way she could have paid off the vendors with his support, and he could have wrote it off on his tax.
And to be clear, everyone, Danielle has made it clear she did not pay the sponsors with any of the money. They paid her to be there, and what they paid was used to pay for the event being put on. And then the money that people donated to charity did go to charity.
Right. She did say that, but that I think that's why she twisted it that way, to make it seem like she paid herself because she was the face, but really it was the companies that paid her to be there. So I think that's where it got misconstrued, because I would say she had a valid point. It's just that's not what the situation was. Like you said, it wasn't the situation. So that's why I said I couldn't completely fault her, because she is right, but at the same time, it was just the wrong situation. And because she's not, as you said, she ain't had no job. She ain't do nothing. She was literally just a housewife. She came into a little, a couple $100,000 on this show. Now she done got all this, elitism now. But
Her parents sold her to a man that can't stand her in her little arranged marriage, and
if
he
you
ended up going
remember,
to school and
even
getting
every time you say
rich.
that, I see his face.
It's because it's what happened. And Bill Aiden, I feel for the brother. He be looking so
It's
tired of
the
her,
hair, it's
embarrassed,
the bald spot. Then you trying to have a
hairline
little
receding.
bob, and it's like, why you got long hair? Why you just don't bald your head? And he. Oh, I'm so glad I don't live in
I
that
know
kind of
he's
life
sick of
because
her.
there's no way y'all could sell me to somebody that's just not that attractive, and I got to be stuck with this person for the
Bill
rest of my
Aiden
life.
is handsome, but being with Jen is running him into the mud, and we can't tell right now. But I listen, when I saw a couple seasons ago, and he came home, she's like, he comes home, goes straight to the pool house. I wouldn't want to hear your mouth and 5 kids' mouth either after doing surgery on people who want bigger titties for 9 to 12 and 16 hours a day. I wouldn't want to deal with it either. I really would not. She seems awful, and I know she is when season after season her complaint with her husband is, you don't have my back. It's almost like they're like the Turkish version of Letitia and Marcel Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville.
They really
Like
are.
the wife is just not accountable at all, and
I
the
mean,
husband just look tired sometimes, just tired.
and as I told her, girl, you could be in that kitchen making some hamburger helper and some mixed vegetables and calling it a day. Like, I don't need to see you in this
She's too busy buying her
complaining.
daughter McDonald's. Um,
Damn.
It's the truth. Anywho, they move on for some reason, and Jennifer claims that Lena said something else. But then Jennifer does what she always does, and she says, "But I don't want to say it because it'll put you in a bad light. You're already trying to paint her in a bad light." And this is where I said, "Okay, Jen is trying to manipulate the situation and trying to provoke Danielle, and it did work. But she did it in a way that was so obvious and pathetic, and I was actually disappointed in Danielle for not peeping
Picking
that.
up,
But
oh,
again,
yes.
yeah, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I was happy with Danielle. So there's a hairstylist by the name of Marissa who does the hair of a couple housewives, Dolores, Danielle. We've seen her do Teresa's hair and some other ones because I've heard of this lady. Now, this hairstylist who does the housewives' hair has a new hairline that is coming out, which makes sense. She's a hairstylist. And she wanted some of the housewives as her celebrity clientele to be a part of the promo for it. Basically, she put some of the hair on them to promo it, which is normal. Now, Danielle says that she called Jen because a different person, Lena, does Jennifer's hair. And she let Jen know because I guess whoever does Jen's hair is obviously territorial over their clients, which that is common in
Mhm.
hairstyles and beauty really as a whole. And basically she warned her that she said you should let your hairstylist know that you're going to be, modeling for another hairstylist publicly so that she doesn't, get offended since that's her personal hairstylist, which makes sense. I've had the same hair braider for over 10 years. When I decide to do something different or go get my hair done by somebody else, I always let her know just out of respect. Like, I still love you, boo. I just went another route. Like, I don't know if other people are that way. I take my hairstylist and all of that seriously, but
Because I haven't had a steady barber in years here in Phoenix, I don't move like that anymore. But
only for the
yes,
people who got steady stylists and
yeah, but
barbers.
mine ended up losing his business, and then he ended up moving to Atlanta because it was a messy situation, like very messy. So to
Oh
make
man.
go do the rabbit hole, my barber, the barber I had for a very long time here in Phoenix, he was gay, and his baby mama worked in the barbershop with him because he was trying to avoid paying her child support. So the court worked out because she also cuts hair as well, that she worked in a barbershop, that would alleviate him having to pay her out of his pocket if he made her, in the barbershop. So his boyfriend did not like that at all. And one time I was getting my hair cut, I was going to an event, and he had just finished with me, and the boyfriend walked in mad because she was still there past a certain time. And when I tell you these fools got to fighting in this barbershop, the police were called, my barber went to jail, and then he couldn't get bailed out right away, so he ended up losing his business. And I have not seen him since.
Well, that don't belong in a movie. But yeah, essentially she's basically trying to warn, Jen about that, which I think is fair. Jen's manipulative though, y'all. And she pushes Danielle because Danielle figured out midway through the conversation, oh, this girl's trying to She's trying to make me look bad. She's just trying to get me in some shit for no reason. And mind you, last season and Danielle's first season, Teresa and Jen set her up as well. I don't care what nobody say. So she's realizing like, oh, this is happening again. And I think that's why she got so upset. So at first she starts doing good. She's like, you're a piece of shit, which we know gets to Jennifer Aiden because she sees the comments. She knows nobody likes her. There's hardly anyone that supports her. No one respects her. And the ones who do feel that she's only relevant because of Teresa. I mean, Jen doesn't really give much. Her husband's embarrassed her. He don't like her. She gets too drunk on the show. We could go on and on and on about the things she does. So that gets to her. And Jen was trying to act like she was so okay and not mad, but she was mad because she pushed the hell out of Danielle aggressively after being called. She was like, everybody was right about what they warned me about you. And that's where Jen loses her cool and pushes the hell out of Danielle. And Danielle, they say if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, because she was ready. She knocked her upside her head. Because if you push me out of anger, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm just going to say that to you, YouTube. That's just how it's going to be. To those who are trying to make it seem like Jennifer's innocent, she is not. And then afterward, Jennifer's trying to act all calm. I'm good. I'm great. No, baby girl, you're not calm and good or great. Her words got to you so much that you decided to physically assault her.
Right.
And now you're going to play victim because you fucked around and found out. When you poke the bear and get bit, don't expect people to feel sorry for you. And it's crazy because Jen grew up in New York. That's the best parts where if you play with people, I'm sure you had to deal with that. But I don't think she expected someone to smack her up on this show. And I think she expected herself to be innocent just because she pushed her and didn't hit her. But you assaulted her first. So
right.
whatever she did.
Anybody who thinks that Jen is right in this situation, y'all are delusional as hell, because she pushed her. And y'all better be glad that that wasn't actual glass that she hit her with. That it was that was a plastic cup that just shattered. Because when I tell you that was a good connect, I said, yes, Danielle, I don't like you, but yes, Danielle.
She connected.
She said, bitch, bop. I was like, ooh.
It was the husband in the background for me going off on the person his wife snatched up. I was here for it because he was, if y'all peep in the scene, right? Peep in the background the whole time they arguing. Nate was rooting her on, commenting, all alone, standing, watching his wife. That's a man who cares about his wife. Meanwhile, Bill Aiden's inside, hearing his wife argue again.
Ain't went outside, ain't checked on his
plate.
He was eating. But I tell you, that man had a plate of food, and when
because we know she don't cook.
And then, but Danielle said, "You sleeping with the devil? Your wife a bitch." He said,
He just looked at her. He's like, "Yeah, I
know." No, he said, yeah, I know. I saw that, Bill. You ain't slick. I saw you. You said, You did it real quick so that camera would catch it. I caught it. You show y'all go back and watch it and see if we ain't playing.
Bill said the whole thing.
And talk about she didn't know what happened.
Talk about she didn't know what happened. Liar. And then in addition to that, I do feel as though Jen has everybody twisted, because they were like, you pushed her? I don't know. Stupid bitch, you're on camera. You could play that I don't know crap, but what you're doing is caught on camera. I think Jen was so scared after getting the crap knocked out of her. I also think she was embarrassed. And because I never seen her act like that. And she did kind of give off the energy of someone like, oh no, this has happened. And then to see this lady's husband going off on you, a man yelling at you, and your husband can hear it and did not care to get up from his plate to come check on you.
Child, that took me out.
Let me tell y'all, if Mr. Oh So Best here's James right now on this live start hollering at me, he gonna step in this live so quick. It's no sane partner, woman, man, gay, straight, is gonna hear their husband, wife, life partner, whatever the fuck you call it. Ain't nobody gonna hear their life partner being disrespected by somebody of the opposite sex and just allow it to happen. Bill really don't care. And there's nothing I could see from them that would make me think that this is like a love of a marriage filled with love. I know it was supposed to be about Danielle and them, but looking at that and Bill's reaction, how Nate went off was mad, stuck by his wife. She didn't even have to ask him to leave. They in the car, he was still like, "No, she had you twisted." Listen, and Bill Aiden finished his plate.
That took me out. I'm sorry. I was laughing so hard at that because when he was just finishing his plate of food,
And
he
he
just said,
smiled at her when they said that to him. Did you
and he
peep the
looked.
little smirk?
That's why I say he smiled. That's why I say he smiled. He said, I know. He wanted to say I know, but he just said,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. He showed and nod that head. I saw
Right.
that, Bill. You ain't slick. I saw you. You
That's
know what he,
embarrassing though.
he
That's
know
what
what
Jane
he
did.
knows what he married to. He knows what he's married to. He know that lady is bored and that she ain't got nothing else better to
I
do.
mean, that's why he was fucking on the secretary. And that's not alleged. Jen said it on the show. Thank you, Marge. Um, if that's that though, because Jen thought that she was giving and doing all of this, but all that happened is we watched you get knocked upside your head, which was satisfying, I think, for lots of people. And then
No,
we
it
watched
wasn't.
your
It wasn't
husband,
satisfying. It wasn't satisfying for me. I needed to see just a quick 1-2 combo, real quick.
not a
I need to see.
combo. He
I
wants
needed
the
to.
Mortal Kombat
I needed to see her
combo.
fall on the floor and that ponytail get ripped off, and
You wanted the nose job,
I
the
wanted
punch.
the. I want. No, I wanted the struggle tail to show. I wanted everything. I wanted it all. I feel like Danielle didn't do enough, and I felt like y'all should just let her just get 2 minutes with her real quick and let her fall in the pool or something. I needed to see something else. Like I really did, because I don't. Yeah, when I tell you I don't like Jennifer Aiden, I don't like Jennifer Aiden. I don't want no harm to come to her out of a controlled environment. I don't.
Some
But
people
this is a
need to be
controlled environment.
smacked up.
She do,
Some
because she.
people don't learn any other way. They can't sue her. So the only thing really, when you think about it, that these women can do is snatch Jen Aiden up. And I'm surprised none of them have done it. I do, I did not like Danielle at all, but
I
I do
still don't like her. No, 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 no,
I,
no.
I don't understand why I I did not like her at all. I still feel like she should not be on this show, and not it has nothing to do with the altercation. My thing is you wouldn't be in this situation if you just came on this show and was authentic. We know that she was a super fan before coming on this show. We know that she loved New Jersey. I feel like last season she was up Teresa's ass and doing stuff that really wasn't okay. And in the end, she ended up looking crazy. So she comes back this season, and it's like you should have learned that these people were not your friends. And then you fall for this so easily. If someone can be so easily swayed and convinced and follow behind, follow the leader, they don't need to be on a show like this. We need independent, strong, autonomous thinkers.
I just feel like for me, the reason why I don't like her, it just seems like she's petty for no reason. And when you actually hear the reason why she says she's petty, it's really stupid. Like the whole thing with her dad thing, that's real stupid to me. Like, oh my God, like it's not the end of the world. Like her, like to me, she's bratty. And I can't stand a woman in her 40s or however old that she's older than me. I'm gonna say that. I can't stand a woman that's bratty at that age. I feel like grow up and mature. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was her. But I agree with you. It was that husband. I was like, ooh, they finna go home and do it.
Yeah. Listen, I wish I would tell you this. Jennifer Aiden, figure it out. I think both I definitely feel like Jen Aiden was wrong. The provoking and all of that is not okay. But I also feel
Absolutely.
like if this doesn't change her actions and behavior, just get rid of her from the show because I'm tired. Um, but that's pretty much all that happened this episode, you guys. And I think that will be the crescendo of the season because allegedly, well, there's another dinner that's coming, I believe, that they
And that
said is
they
going to be a problem. But this is what was all over the tabloids and stuff. We'll see. I don't feel the season's giving as much as it could be given. And I think if production would be stupid to keep Teresa. Look at the hell that this one person has caused. This
they're
one
gonna keep
person.
her because she's the Giselle Bryant. She is the Kyle Richards. They're going to keep her. She is the Heather Gay, which
I actually feel like people right now are a little more turned off to Teresa than they were to Giselle. Um,
no, I feel like they're neck and neck. I feel like people are just as turned off. And like to me, they Bravo always picks a favorite housewife that they're going to protect on each cast, and it's very sickening. Like the things that Teresa does is deplorable. The things that Giselle does is deplorable. The shit that Heather Gay did was just absolutely insane, and she should have been fired right then and there. But the fact is, they still kept her and protected her. You see how they do that on these shows. So Teresa's going to be protected. Sorry, that she just is.
She probably always will be, but I mean, hey, let her keep getting her check. If she's okay with the hate, let her. But nothing really else happened this episode, you guys. I be sure to comment how you guys feel about the altercation between Jen and Danielle. Personally, I'm not mad at Danielle for snatching her ass up. I think Jen, Aiden, Ben had this coming. However, I still don't care for Danielle as a housewife on this show. But I'm glad somebody snatched up Jen Aiden. But be sure to
Okay.
comment your opinions. Even when we're not live, we will be engaging in conversations, responding to comments and all of that. Be on the lookout as well. On Wednesday, we will have Housewives of Dubai, I believe.
Yep. When tomorrow? No, Wednesday. Sorry, I forgot today was Monday. Yo, Wednesday we will have Real Housewives of Dubai, and I'm going to do an update video as well, depending on if my unpopular opinion gets a response or not. But I probably need to do it anyway because a lot has happened over the last couple of weeks that we need to address. Um, and then, unfortunately, this weekend, you guys, I am not available to do the Family Empire Houston show. We're going to pick that up next week when I get back into town, as well as Love and Marriage Huntsville, and also probably Real Housewives of Dubai, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and Family Empire may be all done in the same day. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, I'm not available this weekend, so y'all will
On this
miss me.
channel, we will be having Deb's house on. There's probably another show I'm forgetting about that I can't remember. Yeah, Never Ever Met Go. We'll have Deb's
Yep.
house on Saturday. I will share any videos that James does. We'll also have song reviews and music reactions posting all through the week. So I appreciate all of you guys. I
Oh,
appreciate
and
you
are you
today.
picking up Basketball Wives next week?
Yes, I always cover it.
Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, and then also Basketball Wives. I have to be at the fifth. We're gonna have to talk about the scheduling now that you getting a new show, and then me as well. So we have to figure out schedules now again.
I always recap shows the day after they air.
Well, I know, but this weekend's going to be a challenge because of me being gone. You see what I'm saying? I have to now push shows out.
Whenever you're back, because I'll still be going live this weekend, but whenever you're back for the shows on your channel, just tell me. I'll join your live. I'm always off at 3.
Yeah, but I want to join yours too. That's why I said I love the shows you have as well. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, y'all. We promise. We always do. We always figure stuff out. But thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This was a lot more fun than I thought it was. The hour and 12 minutes we've been here.
That's because it's the one interesting episode of the season, probably to the finale. But
Yep.
I appreciate everybody for watching. You guys enjoy your evening, morning, or day. Adios.
Bye.